Tonight, before the lights come on and before the audience holds its breath, there is one man sitting at the judge's table whose reactions alone can change a life forever. Simon Cowell. Known around the world for his sharp honesty, his raised eyebrow, and his reputation for never being impressed easily. He has seen everything, from singers who shook stadiums to dancers who rewrote the rules of movement. He has buzzed acts in seconds and crowned legends in moments. When Simon leans forward, the room changes. When he smiles, history is being made. And on this night, even Simon Cowell has no idea that he is about to be completely surprised by someone who cannot sing, cannot dance, and does not even speak the human language. Or so everyone thinks. The theater is buzzing with quiet excitement as the next act is announced. A simple setup. No smoke. No dramatic music. Just a man walking out onto the stage with a dog by his side. The audience chuckles politely. You can almost hear the unspoken thought ripple through the room. Another novelty act. Another joke audition. Simon leans back slightly in his chair, arms crossed, expression neutral. He has seen dogs before. Talented dogs. Cute dogs. Clever dogs. And usually, they all end the same way. The host asks the man his name, and he answers confidently. Then he introduces his dog. The dog sits calmly, tail still, eyes alert. There is something different about this dog. Not overly excited. Not nervous. Just focused. Simon tilts his head, noticing the calmness. The man explains that his dog can talk. The audience laughs louder now. Some clap. Some shake their heads. Even one of the judges raises an eyebrow. Simon smiles slightly, the kind of smile that says he is amused but unconvinced. Talking dogs are not new. Buttons, bells, trained responses. Simon has heard it all. He asks the man directly how the dog talks. The man explains that the dog uses buttons with recorded words. Simon nods slowly. That explains it, he thinks. Clever training. Cute trick. But nothing more. The act begins. The man asks the dog a simple question. How are you today? There is a pause. The dog looks at the board of buttons. The room is quiet. Then, deliberately, the dog presses one button. Good. The audience laughs. Simon smiles politely. The man follows up. What do you want to do today? The dog pauses again. Longer this time. Then presses 3 buttons in sequence. Play. With Simon. The room explodes. Laughter. Cheers. Disbelief. Simon's eyes widen slightly. He laughs, pointing at himself. Me. The dog looks directly at Simon and presses another button. Yes. The audience is now fully engaged. Simon leans forward, intrigued. The man smiles but does not speak. He lets the moment breathe. Then Simon does something rare. He talks directly to the dog. What do you want to play? The dog stands up, walks to the buttons, and presses. Sing. With me. The judges lose it. The audience is standing. Simon laughs harder now, shaking his head. This is clever, he admits to himself. Very clever. But still, it is buttons. It is timing. It is training. The man asks the dog if he likes music. The dog presses. Love. Music. The man asks what kind. The dog presses. Simon. Songs. Simon raises his hands in surrender, laughing. All right, you got me, he says. The audience cheers. Then something changes. The man steps away from the buttons. He walks several feet back. No cues. No gestures. He asks the dog a question without looking. What do you think of Simon Cowell? The dog freezes. This time the pause is uncomfortable. The audience goes silent. The dog looks at Simon. Then at the buttons. Then back at Simon. Slowly, carefully, the dog walks over and presses one button. Honest. The audience gasps. Then another. Scary. Laughter. erupts. Then another. But, kind. The room goes silent again. Simon's smile fades into something else. He looks genuinely moved. He clears his throat, joking it off, but you can see it hit him. That word. Kind. Simon leans forward and speaks softly. Why do you think I'm kind? The dog does not rush. It presses the button slowly, deliberately. Because. You. Listen. The moment lands like a wave. This is no longer a joke act. This is something else. Something emotional. Something real. The audience applauds, not laughing now, but clapping with warmth. Simon nods slowly, visibly touched. That's very nice, he says quietly. The man explains that he never scripts responses. The dog chooses. The buttons are always available. What you are seeing is communication, not performance. Simon looks skeptical again, but less dismissive now. He decides to test it. Simon asks the dog a question the man could not predict. What do you think of the other judges? The audience laughs nervously. The dog walks to the buttons. Presses. Funny. Loud. Nice. Then pauses. Presses again. Simon. Boss. The entire theater erupts. Even Simon laughs uncontrollably. He claps, shaking his head in disbelief. I mean, that's accurate, he admits. But then Simon does something unexpected. He asks a personal question. What do you think people misunderstand about me? The dog looks at Simon for a long time. The pause stretches. This is not funny anymore. This feels intimate. The dog presses the button slowly. They think you mean. Then presses again. You care. Simon's eyes fill with emotion. He swallows hard. The audience gives a standing ovation. Not for comedy, for connection. Simon takes a deep breath. You know, he says, I've judged thousands of acts. I've seen singers cry, dancers break, magicians fool me. But I never thought I'd sit here and have a dog tell me who I am. The man kneels beside his dog, proud but calm. He explains that animals listen in ways humans forget how to. That communication is more than words. It is attention, presence, trust. Simon nods. He looks at the dog again. Do you like being here? The dog presses. Yes. Do you like Simon Cowell? The dog presses. Yes. The audience cheers. Simon laughs. Well, that's the most important vote of the night. When the judges give their feedback, it is unanimous. This was not about tricks. Not about novelty. It was about reminding everyone that intelligence and emotion come in many forms. One judge says it was heartwarming. Another says it was unforgettable. Simon speaks last. He looks at the dog. Then at the man. Then at the audience. I came into this thinking I knew exactly what this was going to be. And I was wrong. And I love being wrong. Because when I am, it means I've just seen something special. He pauses. And the fact that a dog just described me better than most humans ever have, that's something I'll never forget. The votes are cast. All yes. As the dog walks off stage, tail wagging gently, the audience is still buzzing. Social media explodes within minutes. Clips go viral. Headlines read Talking Dog surprises Simon Cowell. But those words don't fully capture what happened. Because it wasn't about a talking dog. It was about listening. And for once, the toughest judge in the room wasn't judging. The next morning, the clip is everywhere. Phones light up with notifications. Screens replay the moment again and again. The pause. The buttons. The words. Honest. Scary. But kind. People who missed the live broadcast are now watching it on repeat, trying to decide what they just witnessed. Some laugh. Some tear up. Some argue in comment sections about training versus intelligence. But almost everyone agrees on one thing. Something about that moment felt different. Backstage, the man sits quietly beside his dog. The Noise of the crowd is gone now, replaced by distant echoes and footsteps. The dog lies calmly, head resting on its paws, completely unaware of the storm it has just created. For the man, this is not about fame. He has spent years working patiently, day after day, not trying to prove anything to the world, only trying to understand his companion better. A producer approaches and says Simon would like to see them again. In a small room away from the chaos, Simon Cowell stands with a cup of tea in his hand. No cameras. No audience. Just a man and a dog. Simon crouches down slowly, careful not to startle the animal. The dog looks at him, curious, calm, eyes full of quiet awareness. "You know," Simon says softly, "I've been doing this job a long time. People rehearse emotions. They plan reactions. They try to guess what I want. But that didn't feel planned." The man nods. "It wasn't." Simon looks at the buttons again, neatly arranged on the floor. He takes a breath. "May I?" The man gestures for him to go ahead. Simon kneels and speaks directly to the dog. "Do you know you made a lot of people very happy tonight?" The dog walks over and presses a button. "Happy." Simon smiles. "Do you know why?" The dog pauses, then presses. "Because." "Truth." Simon exhales slowly. That word again. Truth. He looks up at the man. "That's what people respond to. Real things. Not perfection. Not tricks." Simon stands up, straightening his jacket. "You've got something very special here. Not just talent. Perspective." Later that night, as the episode airs across the country, families gather around televisions. Children sit cross-legged on the floor. Parents put their phones down. Grandparents lean forward. And when the dog presses those buttons again, living rooms fall silent. In one house, a young boy turns to his mother and asks if animals understand feelings. She pauses, then answers honestly, "I think they always have." In another home, someone who once thought Simon Cowell was cold and unkind watches his face soften and sees something they never noticed before. Online, the conversation shifts. It is no longer just about a talking dog. People begin sharing stories of their own pets. How a dog sat with them through grief. How a cat sensed illness before doctors did. How a simple presence made unbearable moments survivable. The act moves through the competition. Each appearance brings new questions, new interactions, new moments. The man never pushes, never forces. He lets the dog lead. Sometimes the answers are funny. Sometimes they are confusing. Sometimes they are unexpectedly profound. During one live show, Simon asks a question no one expects. "What do you think humans should do better?" The audience leans forward. The dog presses the buttons slowly. "Listen. More." Silence fills the theater. Then applause. Not wild. Not loud. Thoughtful. Simon nods. He looks out at the audience. That might be the smartest thing said on this stage all season. Behind the scenes, Simon reflects on why this act stays with him. It is not about innovation. It is about humility. About being reminded that intelligence is not owned by humans alone. That communication is not just speech, but attention and patience. As the competition progresses, pressure builds. Critics question authenticity. Experts debate cognitive science. Some accuse the act of being manipulative. Simon hears it all. He has heard it his entire career. But one night, before a live semifinal, Simon walks backstage again. The dog is there, lying calmly, unfazed by the tension. Simon sits beside it, nervous. He asks jokingly. The dog presses. "No." Simon chuckles. "Wish I could say the same." Then, without cameras, Simon asks one last question. "Why do you do this?" The dog pauses longer than ever before. Then presses. "Connect. People." Simon stays quiet for a long moment. Then he stands, pats the man on the shoulder, and walks back to the judge's table. That night, when the dog steps onto the stage again, the audience does not laugh first. They wait. They listen. And when the buttons speak, the room understands. Because sometimes, the most powerful voice in the room doesn't shout. It simply tells the truth. And sometimes, the biggest surprise is not that a dog can talk. It's that we finally stopped to listen. He was being understood.